just sliding down. That's because every selfie stick we buy is not fit for purpose. So if anybody's got any recommendations from selfie sticks that actually stay up and don't just slowly decline. How are you, everybody? Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Oh, got the paddling pool out and having a water fight with the kids. So unique, fantastic. It's not like that here. It's humid, it's overcast and it's grey. But it is not sunny. Which actually, for my mood today, kind of suits me. I don't really want it to be sunny yet for me here yet. Hello, Emma Curtis. Emma Curtis has joined the family guest area, which means I'm going to say, welcome, Emma Curtis, welcome. Welcome, Emma Curtis, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Emma Curtis, welcome. There you go. That's what happens when you join the family guest area. You get a little welcome song. Oh, people watching me sat in the garden. How can you do that? I can't see anything when I go out in the garden and take a screen out, which is probably good because I spend a lot of time on the screen. So if I could also use it in the garden, that wouldn't be good. How are you all feeling? Tell me how you're feeling. Come on, in a word or two, just tell me how you're doing. Tell me how you're doing. Morning, Louisa Hackett, Sawalha Trish, Clodagh Egan. We're kind of missing you guys. We haven't seen you anything like we normally do, and we realise this. But as lots of you know, Mark is very unwell. He's been really unwell since, when was it? Early May. Oh, well over a week. He's been really unwell. And he's still not very well. So you might have seen he put up a review yesterday. So he forced himself out last Wednesday. Thank you, Michelle. He forced himself out yesterday, took the girls out, took Nanny Di out and went to see Tired. A lot of people are feeling very tired. Just tell me how you're feeling. A couple rubbish, Hayley Edwards. Yeah. Yeah, so he pushed himself out, watched the film, did the review, but then that totally exhausted him because he's just in a mental health crisis at the moment. And there's no shame in that, you know. And the fact I keep saying there's no shame in it is because I'm also almost having to tell myself that as well, because one does go to the place of, oh, we shouldn't really tell anyone that Mark's really suffering with mental health. But I'm thinking, for God's sake. I mean, he sits on here and he talks to you about his mental health. He does these brilliant mental health lives with you guys. He talks about it on his Instagram and he's having a crisis. You know, he is very, very, very down. But he's going to be seeing somebody on Tuesday who is an excellent person and psychiatrist, actually, to get the proper medication, because what he's been told is that it's totally extraordinary. This is what he's been told by the the doctor that he spoke to on Tuesday. He said he said to Mark, I cannot believe that you have felt this low and you have not had medication and you haven't picked up a drink, and it is quite phenomenal how you've been pulling through. But he said to him, but now your brain is whacked out. It's just whacked out and it needs to just stop. So that's what his brain has done to him and left him with quite, you know, quite bad depression. But personally, from a partner's point of view, I actually, and you might think this is really weird because it's really, really awful seeing somebody that you love in pain, just like it is, you know, physical pain. It's awful. It's just awful seeing it. And I feel so badly for him. But I do feel really, really hopeful, because I think, as Mark's spoken to you about on here often, he's been doing it all by himself, you know, and I think now this is going to be a turning point, like a rock bottom, and it's a turning point. And he's going to, oh my God, he's loved getting your messages, guys. Oh my God. And Michelle, you know Michelle, who we talk about here often. Michelle, can I just have a moment of publicly saying how incredible you are and what amazing friends I have. And it's in a time of need that you really do, you know, realise what you've got. So, you know, a friend of mine said to me yesterday, oh God, I feel so bad for you all, you know, you've been going through such a shit time. And I said, yeah, but you know what? At the same time, it's been an incredible moment of love. We've, you know, I love Mark even more through this because I think it's incredibly brave, and I think it's just what you know, I thank God for my mental health, because I think, and I know a lot of you do, to struggle with your mental health, it's just so painful, isn't it? It's just so painful. So yeah, Mark and I have been, you know, it's taken us to another level as a couple this last week. I know you do, Michelle, and us, Pat. It's been a time of real reflection and real grit to push through. You know, I mean, I did Loose Women yesterday. I met with my lovely friends Kaz and Hannah yesterday after Loose Women. Hannah, my beautiful, beautiful friend, you know, early 30s, going to have another PET scan. You know, she said recurring cancer 3 times, same place in her breast. You know, it's been a lot to watch, you know, to be with people that I love very much and see them suffering. But I also feel very privileged. It's weird. I feel it's a really weird week where I feel sadness and I feel all these things, but I also feel unbelievably privileged and like so, wow. You know, sometimes when things are really bad, you're right on the edge of like life, aren't you? Just like life. So yeah, lots of highs and lots of lows. And at moments, Mark and I have had little moments where we've been able to laugh at the darkness of it all and have a dark joke. Lisa and I have had a few dark jokes, I can tell you. And, you know, Lisa came here on Monday night. I didn't actually film anything vlog-wise. I filmed the next day. I did some vlog stuff the next day because that night she came round and it was just a really lovely evening with her and the girls and Mark, and it was just really, yeah, very powerful. And, you know, also, like I said to Mark this morning when we went for a walk, I said, you know, the thing is, like the swell of love that's been around us is just pretty amazing. And massively from you guys, massively. So many of you have been messaging him on Instagram and he can't answer them all. But honestly, he said to me every day that it's just been so lovely. So, yeah. Right, okay, moving on. So the Sunday show, we have filmed it. I have absolutely said to him, he goes, oh, I don't want to let people down and everything. I said, so he's going to decide whether the stuff is in the can. He's going to decide, because he said it might be quite nice to distract himself by editing it. If for some reason the Sunday show can't go out this Sunday in the members area, trust me, for the 2 shows that have been missed, you will get something else in place, okay? So don't worry. Steph for Mind UK, my now husband had a mental crisis last year. He's slowly recovering, helping other men to recognise when they need help. We need to give men the space to speak safely without judgment. Exactly. It's so much harder for men sometimes, isn't it? Because they, well, you know, like I'm having a tough time. I can talk to my friends about everything. It is just harder for men. It's just not as accessible, is it? Oh God. It's gone black again on my screen. So annoying. So I have to press the power button gently, but it doesn't work. It's still a black screen. God, I've got to get my technicals sorted out. Michelle, it's gone black again, my screen. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? Oh, don't ask me about Teddy. Lots of you asking about Teddy, and I should answer because you're also invested in Teddy, but oh, I've got it back. He's not great, guys. He's not, and it's a real worry for me. It's just shit having a stroke. It's just like the most horrible bloody thing, isn't it? I know some of you have definitely come up against that. My dad first had a stroke over 20 years ago. And it was one where he was hospitalised and he was sort of paralysed down one side, and he got better, and he's had lots of little strokes since then. And then about a month ago, I think it is now, he had a stroke, but he's not got any paralysis or anything. But it's really it's just giving him anxiety, and so I just hate that, because it's horrible seeing your dad worried, isn't it? He's not himself. But you never know, he might do Teddy Talks this weekend. We're a family that often deal with stuff that's going on by doing a bit more work. Anyway, he doesn't see it as work because it gives my dad something to think about all week. It's actually a really good focus for him. So I will be leaving it entirely up to him. If he says, oh, can we do a bit of Teddy Talks? How are we? Then I'll be doing it, but I won't be asking him. Thank you, Claire Ross Reed. It's the anxiety, isn't it? It's like, how long does that last? Because the thing is, he keeps not sleeping because he's scared of having another one. But anyway, should we chat a bit about the news? Right, I said to Mark, I want to do this miracle Alzheimer's drug story. And he said, well, it's a bit random and it's a bit, in a month, in a year, in a whatever. But I said, no. I said, first of all, I'm trying to find the story now. Alzheimer's is the #1 killer of women in this country. Did you know that? Just listen to that stat. It's the #1 killer of women in the UK is Alzheimer's. You might think it's breast cancer, you might think it's all of that, but it's actually Alzheimer's. I'd have a little look around estrogen and the connection to the brain. You might have seen a bit about it on Davina. Yeah, Jane, isn't that the most shocking statistic? Well, anyway, that's why I wanted to do this story today. In the next few days, there is a drug, the very first drug, that is going to help with Alzheimer's. This is incredible news, right? In a couple of days, it's going to be approved by the FDA in America, and they expect it's going to be used, well, I'm going to talk about that at Canthray. It's going to be available, hopefully, in 2022 through the NHS. Let me just see if I can find a story. What do you think of that? Now, you guys know I worry all the time about Alzheimer's. I know lots of people worry about, they've got loads of us have health anxiety, don't we? We really do. And let me just put this in. And, everybody has their thing. I mean, Mark, it's always been with Mark, cancer. He has terrible health anxiety around cancer. But mine has always been Alzheimer's. My memory has been terrible. And it was like yesterday, we had a brilliant new Loose Women. I don't know if you saw Loose Women yesterday, Sunetra. Oh my God, I loved her so much. Loved her. Anyway, the thing I didn't love about her was that she was saying to me that she can remember every single person in her class's name, right? First and second name. Can you? And I was like, oh my God, I can only think of like my closest friends. Oh my God. And then everyone was saying what they can remember and what they can't remember. And I was like, honestly, I can't have this conversation because it triggers me, because my biggest fear, she was brilliant, wasn't she, is Alzheimer's, because my memory is so bad. Now, it has improved a bit since I've been taking HRT. I don't know whether it would have been a lot better if I'd started taking the HRT earlier, but my memory is terrible, absolutely terrible. And so when I saw this story today, because of my health anxiety, it actually really, really cheered me up. Now, call me naive, call me a bit like silly for running ahead with it, but this drug is going to be approved in the next few days in America. And it actually deals with the buildup of the proteins in the brain. So, yeah. Ellery Jones, you remember faces. Well, that's good. That's a good sign. My mum has pre-Alzheimer's, Clodagh Egan. Well, then this could potentially... honestly, search for the story. You might be able to find it. I can't find it now. New, probably because I'm spelling Alzheimer's wrongly, because I can't remember how to spell it. That's probably what it is, because of my memory. Let me have a look. Is this it? I'm putting everything in here. It's not coming up. Oh, here we go. Miracle Alzheimer's drug could be approved in days and available in NHS 2022 with a big picture of lovely Barbara Windsor. If it's greenlit, which it seems to be the strong chance that they should, it would be the first ever to work against the disease. Did you know that since the disease was discovered, it was first discovered in 1906. Trial data being studied so it's a drug called aducanumab, and it slows down the decline in memory and language skills. So it slows it down. So I think, yeah, so they've had good results in it slowing down the decline in sufferers. When it was used at the early stage of the disease, because like sometimes when I'm really worrying about it, I talk about it at Loose Women, and they say, listen, why don't you just go to the doctor or go to the memory clinic and have a test, and then you'll know. And I'm like, no, why would you do that? Because there's nothing that can be done. So it's better that I don't know, because otherwise I'm just going to be depressed the whole time. But now, if there is something, if this gets approved, then that would be a very different situation. Because if you're worried and this works at the early stages, well, then there would be a reason. But anyway, the reason I did that story was it made me jump. Yes, she did used to be in Brookside, Hayley Edwards, Sinatra. Who else liked her? Who saw her? Oh, she was so good. And in the morning, I was feeling very low when I went into work yesterday, pushed through, went to work. I was considering not going to work because of all the stuff going on with Mark, but I just said, no, push through, go. And actually, it was so good. I felt like I was walking in treacle as I walked up to that studio, I'll tell you. But then the meeting, it was with Kay and Jane and her, and we laughed so much in the meeting. And she's a great addition, isn't she? And great to have somebody from India, because we don't have, and we take real pride on Loose Women of having a good diversity. And I love to hear about her family, and I just love to hear about other cultures. I get really excited. Like with Judy, I'm like, tell me more about your mum. Tell me more about your barbecues. I just love it. Like, I love sharing my culture and my dad's culture, and I love hearing that. So she's like definitely going to be one of my new friends. Definitely. It's like I've done this ever since I was a kid, where I would decide who was going to be my friend, and then they had no say in it whatsoever. It was like, you're going to be my friend. And some people don't like me when they first meet because I am quite annoying. But then if I want them to be my friend, I just don't give up until they are. It was funny yesterday, wasn't it, Shelley? It was a really nice show yesterday. We laughed a lot. Check it out. If you missed it, check it out. And if you really liked Sinatra, go onto their Facebook, go onto Loose Women Instagram, and tell the producers you liked her, because that was her first go. Yeah, it was great to see. So when you're saying Sinatra, it's Sinatra as in Fenetra. That's what she said, French Fenetra. She had us laughing. I mean, so much. Proper on her first day. So she was great. Sophie J. Matilda, I had a mental breakdown during that time. I completely constructed a false memory of an event I went to, only to find out later it was impossible because I was in an entirely different place. God, how frightening for you. That's so frightening. Oh, sending you a big, big hug. Oh, thank you, Claire Rossreed. That's really kind of you. Okay, what else did we have out here? Right. Now, even Mark was not up to doing this live today, but he really wanted me to do the story about the lab leak. Now, do you remember when Trump kept calling the virus the China virus, and he kept hinting at, well, I think he directly said that he believed that the virus had been made in the lab, it was man-made, and it had escaped, basically. Well, you know, it's quite interesting that Biden is really pushing the intelligence services to investigate this further, because it looks to be now, there's more information coming through, that they feel that this was, anyway, so basically that the virus was man-made, this is the accusation, and that then the Chinese backtracked and tried to make it look as if it had come from bats. So Biden has asked for this investigation to be taken further. Who knows? We can't know at this point. But I think it's really important these things are investigated. It's really, really important. Because, and I think we mustn't be frightened of like, will this be seen as, you know, an attack on the Chinese people, which of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. And we mustn't shy away from discussing the topic and investigating further because of fears of that. This is about what are the Chinese government up to? You know, what are they up to? And it's good to hold them accountable. You know, it's really good to hold them accountable. Like, I wish we could hold China a bit more accountable for stuff as well. So, we don't know, we cannot know. Yes, I can sing happy birthday to your Charlotte girl in grey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlotte. Happy birthday to you. Well, of course, the Chinese government are going to say it's all political. We don't know. We don't know. But it's really important that we do know. Don't you think? Please, can you wish my 14-year-old son, Caden, a happy birthday? Yes, I can. Karen Kelly's 14-year-old son, Caden. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Caden. Happy birthday to you. And guys, if this is your first time with the channel, can you hit the subscribe button? Can you also hit the thumbs up just underneath where I'm sitting? Because there's almost 700 of you watching, and there's only 149 that have said you're liking it. So are you watching me and not liking it? Are you sitting with us and not actually having a very good time? Do you not even know that it's quite nice to hit the thumbs up? Thank you, Shelley Riddler. Shelley Riddler says, I have a lovely tone to my voice. Ha, ha. Thank you. Who was that? Said, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Sue Wood. I will. Now, this name here that keeps popping up, I've got to try and say it. Acantha Rain. Acantha, is that right? Oak Moon. We'll know eventually these things all come out at some point. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's important that we know. We can't just say, oh, well, my Welsh accent, me too. But I'm terrible with my Welsh accent. I don't know why you asked me to do it. I do the most terrible Welsh accent you've ever heard. I told you my story of when I went for this audition and I had to do a Welsh accent, and I slipped in, it went from Welsh to Pakistani, which apparently happens a lot when people try to do a Welsh accent. And the casting directors and directors, most embarrassing experience of my life, asked me to leave the room. Oh my God, I can still cringe. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I've got the cringe pain again. And we're talking, that was about 30 years ago. Heidi, hi. Sawalha Trish. Did anyone watch my live with Lee the other night? Oh my God, it was so funny. Musical dressing room. Did anyone see it? It was so fantastic. This cheered me up. I got asked for a 15-minute interview but didn't get the role. They said that I had excellent interview skills and very positive but didn't focus in on the role enough. So, oh, I'm sorry, Ezzy. I can't do an Irish accent. I can't, Linda. I can do Arabic. I can do Italian. I can do French. I can do Greek Cypriot. Oh God, we used to have this lovely Greek Cypriot fish and chip shop down the road, and she'd go, "Hello, darling. How are you? Would you like a nice salt and vinegar on your fish and chip?" God, she used to love us so much. What about a bit of Wally? Would you like a bit of Wally with your fish and chips? loved her. She was so brilliant. Ah, are you playing with me? Because we used to say our accent back to her. Oh, it's so funny. I get so annoyed that we have to, do you know we have to be so careful? Is that a bit like it, Sharalu? You're Greek Cypriot. We have to be so careful now about doing accents because people get offended. God, I don't get, my dad doesn't get offended at all if somebody does an Arabic accent. I think it's a shame. I mean, obviously, if you're doing it in a nasty way, but if you're doing it because you're telling the colour of a story, it seems a terrible shame if we can't do any accents, don't you think? Ellery Jones doesn't get offended by my Welsh accent. I can't do an Irish accent. Can I do an Irish? Can I do an Irish accent? I don't believe so, no. I can't do a Scottish accent either, but I love having a go. Oh, Kay says I do a terrible Scottish accent, but then she does a terrible Cockney accent, and she thinks her accent's great. And it's not great, it's terrible. What else were we talking about? So we've got the lab leak. Oh my God. Hello, Claire Bailey. That wasn't what I was saying, oh my God, about. I was saying, oh my God, about the plague in Australia, the mice plague. But let's welcome Claire Bailey first, the family guest area. Welcome, Claire Bailey. Welcome, Claire Bailey. Welcome, Claire Bailey. Claire Bailey has joined the welcome guest area, the guest areas, if you'd like to welcome her. If anyone's wondering what the guest area is, we have everything going on the main channel here, but we also have a members area where we give you extra content, and it costs 50p a week, $1.99 a month, and everybody loves it. People that join don't usually leave. Few do, but majority of people that join us stay with us. So if you fancy having a look at it, you can. There's no obligation. You can stay there for a month, see if you like it. If you don't like it, you can leave and just come back to the main channel. I just joined the members areas too. Nice to be on board. Shelley Riddler, Shelley Riddler, Shelley Riddler, Shelley Riddler, Shelley Riddler, Shelley Riddler. Welcome to the family guest area. I'm doing a members live tonight, don't forget. It's definitely happening tonight. The members live is happening tonight at about 7ish. Okay, 7ish tonight will be the members live. Okay, so I don't know much about the mice plague, but it's just, has anyone seen the photographs of it? They've got this plague, right, in Australia. Isn't it weird that they seem to have dodged coronavirus, but they've got a plague of mice? And there's just millions of the bloody things. And these poor farmers, they're sleeping with every leg of the bed. Each leg of the bed has a bowl of water. They've stood it in a bowl of water so that the mice can't run up the legs and get in the bed and bite them. I don't think we need to say much more than that about that, but I just had to go, oh my God, just in case you'd seen it and you needed somebody else to go, oh my God. I find it scary, Gabrielle. I don't like it. Thank God. I know this is awful and I'm sorry to the people of Australia, but thank God it's in Australia. I haven't got survivor's guilt about this. I'm really happy that we're survivors and we don't have a plague of mice. Mind you, we did have rats in our garden. We had to get the rat man in. Oh God. Under the decking. Not this decking, a bit of decking over there. Went to Crystal Palace. Every time I go to Crystal Palace Park now, you just see rats just running around, just de rigueur, just normal. It's awful. I know, Dawn Clarico, it does. It looks, oh, it's just so awful. It's just awful. Me and Mark were talking about this morning. Kiki went, what, like millions of them? We said, yes. She went, God, we are all going to die, aren't we? Because she was really fascinated by the plague here, you know, in history. She loved that, the whole thing about the plague. So, yeah, it really captured her imagination. That was such a deep and meaningful yawn. Oh, God, I wish you could have had that yawn. It was so nice. Is anybody yawning now from my yawn? Put your hand up if you're yawning from my yawn. Did it get you? All right, lovely. So please hit the thumbs up. Oh, loads of you have. 270 of you. How lovely. Hit the thumbs up. That's lovely. And hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a penny. And hit the notification bell. Doesn't cost you a penny. And what it means is you never miss out on any of the content we're doing, because YouTube will tell you. We might be doing a surprise live. We might be doing something a bit silly. There might be a new vlog, reality show, if you're new to here, going up. And it will tell you that it's there. So I love you lots. Thank you again for all your messages and your support. And big shout out again to Michelle. You really are an extension of our group of friends. So, and we really appreciate it. We really, really appreciate it. So lots and lots of love, guys.